As 2026 unfolds, there is a quiet invitation being offered to you. It is not loud. It does not demand explanation. It simply asks you to turn inward, to focus on yourself, and to allow your life to speak for you without the need for constant words. Focusing on yourself is not selfish. It is sacred. When you focus on yourself, you are choosing to heal, to grow, and to realign with who you truly are. You are no longer scattering your energy, trying to prove your worth, justify your decisions, or convince others of your truth. Instead, you are anchoring yourself in self-respect. Staying silent does not mean you have nothing to say. It means you have learned the power of discernment. Silence is wisdom. Silence is confidence. Silence is the calm knowing that you do not need to announce your plans for them to manifest. When you stop explaining, you stop leaking energy. In 2026, your healing becomes your priority. You begin to notice how often you once gave attention to things that drained you, people who misunderstood you, situations that no longer matched your values, thoughts that kept you small. Now, you gently withdraw your energy from all of that, not with anger, not with resentment, but with love for yourself. When you focus on yourself, you listen to your body. You honor your emotions without judging them. You rest when you are tired. You move when you feel inspired. You nourish your mind with thoughts that support you instead of criticize you. You stop rushing your growth and allow it to unfold naturally. Silence becomes your protection. Not everyone needs access to your inner world. Not everyone deserves to hear your dreams before they are fully formed. In silence, your intuition grows stronger. In silence, you hear your inner guidance more clearly. In silence, your confidence becomes unshakable because it no longer depends on external validation. You begin to realize that the most powerful shifts happen quietly. Healing does not need an audience. Growth does not need applause. Transformation happens in moments of stillness. When you choose peace over reaction, clarity over chaos, self-trust over approval, as you stay silent, you stop reacting to what once triggered you. You observe instead of engage. You choose your battles carefully, and often you choose not to battle at all. This is not weakness. This is emotional mastery. This is strength rooted in self-awareness. When you truly focus on yourself, you begin to step into a space of self-love that is profound and transformative. This is not about selfishness or ignoring the world around you. It is about recognizing that your energy is precious and that only you can honor it in its full capacity. All too often, we give ourselves away in subtle ways through overextending to please others, through chasing validation, or through constantly trying to fix circumstances and people outside of ourselves. But the truth is that the power to change your life, the power to heal, and the power to grow begins within you. When you focus on yourself, you are planting seeds of self-respect, and these seeds bloom into strength, clarity, and fulfillment. Focusing on yourself requires intention. It is a choice you make every day to prioritize your own growth, your own peace, and your own joy. It means becoming aware of where your energy goes and choosing to redirect it toward what nurtures and empowers you. It is a gentle yet firm understanding that you are responsible for your own happiness, your own health, and your own transformation. This realization is liberating because it releases you from the constant need to control external situations or rely on others for your sense of worth. The more you focus inward, the less you are affected by drama, conflict, or expectations from the outside world. One of the first steps in this journey is learning to observe yourself without judgment. Notice where your attention tends to drift toward worry, resentment, or comparison, and gently bring it back to your own inner landscape. Ask yourself, what do I need today? How can I nurture my mind, my body, and my spirit? When you start to answer these questions honestly, you begin to create habits that honor you. You make choices that align with your values, your vision, and your well-being. You become the architect of your own life rather than a participant in someone else's story. Focusing on yourself also means learning to set boundaries. This can feel uncomfortable at first because it may go against old patterns of pleasing or accommodating others, but boundaries are a vital form of self-respect. They communicate to yourself and to the world that your energy is valuable. When you enforce your boundaries consistently, you naturally attract experiences and people that honor them. Those who do not align with your energy drift away, making space for those who genuinely support and uplift you. Another aspect of focusing on yourself is embracing your emotions as guides rather than obstacles. Every feeling you experience is a message, a signpost that points to areas that need attention, healing, or change. When you give yourself permission to feel fully without suppressing, judging, or acting impulsively, you cultivate emotional maturity. This deepens your relationship with yourself and strengthens your ability to respond rather than react to life. You begin to see that every moment, even the difficult ones, offers insight and opportunity for growth. As you focus on yourself, you begin to notice a subtle but powerful shift. Life itself begins to respond to your clarity and self-respect. When your energy is centered and aligned, you attract experiences and opportunities that match your vibration. You no longer chase or force outcomes. Instead, you become magnetic to what is genuinely meant for you. Your focus on personal growth becomes the silent force that shapes your reality. Finally, focusing on yourself is a lifelong practice, but it becomes easier and more natural the more you commit to it. Each day is an opportunity to check in with yourself, to nurture your mind, body, and spirit, and to honor the sacredness of your energy. In this space of self-focus, you discover an inner freedom and confidence that cannot be shaken by external circumstances. You begin to realize that you are enough, that you are worthy, and that the life you desire is available to you the moment you dedicate yourself to your own growth. By choosing to focus on yourself, you are not turning away from the world. You are turning toward your highest self. You are investing in your potential, your peace, and your joy. And as you do, you create a life that reflects your worth, your vision, and your true essence. Every act of self-focus is an act of love, and it is this love that will carry you forward quietly but powerfully throughout the year ahead. Silence is one of the most powerful tools you can use in your life, yet it is often misunderstood. Many people think staying silent means hiding, avoiding, or being weak. In truth, silence is the language of strength, clarity, and inner power. When you choose silence, you are choosing to protect your energy, to preserve our peace, and to allow your life to unfold without unnecessary interference. It is a conscious decision to stop scattering your energy on things that do not serve your highest good. In 2026, staying silent becomes a practice of self-mastery, a quiet discipline that communicates far more than words ever could. When you remain silent, you stop giving power to situations, opinions, or people who do not have your best interest at heart. You stop explaining yourself, defending your choices, or justifying your presence. This alone is transformative because it frees you from the constant need for validation. Silence allows you to conserve energy that would otherwise be lost in arguments, explanations, or attempts to convince others of your value. Every time you choose silence over reaction, you reclaim a piece of your inner power. You are no longer giving away what is precious, your focus, your peace, and your clarity. Silence is also a mirror to your inner self. In the quiet, you begin to hear your own thoughts clearly, uncolored by the noise of the outside world. You notice patterns, beliefs, and emotions that have been guiding your actions unconsciously. You become aware of the areas in your life that need attention, healing, or transformation. This level of self-awareness cannot be achieved while constantly speaking, explaining, or reacting. In silence, your mind becomes still enough to hear the subtle whispers of your intuition and the quiet nudges of your heart. This is where real insight and guidance live. Another powerful aspect of silence is that it communicates confidence without a single word. When you are at peace with yourself and do not feel the need to broadcast your thoughts, your choices, or your achievements, people begin to notice. They sense a calm authority in your presence. They recognize that your energy is untouchable and that your focus is unwavering. Silence becomes a magnetic force, attracting the right opportunities, the right people, and the right experiences into your life. The world responds to quiet power in ways that words alone cannot achieve. Choosing silence does not mean avoiding communication entirely. It means choosing what, when, and how you share. It is a practice of discernment. You learn to engage only when it serves your growth, your peace, or the clarity of a situation. You stop reacting impulsively to every provocation, comment, or perceived injustice. Instead, you observe, you listen, you reflect. In doing so, you transform situations that once caused frustration or pain into lessons in self-control, understanding, and wisdom. Over time, silence becomes your shield, your sanctuary, and your greatest teacher. Silence also gives space for your growth to speak for itself. When you are focused and aligned, you do not need to announce your achievements, explain your plans, or seek recognition. Your progress is evident in your energy, your demeanor, and the quality of your life. People notice results mortut, Han words. By staying silent, you allow life to unfold naturally and your achievements to reveal themselves in their own perfect timing. This is the essence of true confidence, knowing that your presence and your actions are enough. Finally, practicing silence strengthens your relationship with yourself. You learn to enjoy your own company, to reflect without distraction, and to trust your own guidance above all else. You create a sanctuary within, a place of peace and clarity that no external circumstance can disturb. In 2026, silence becomes a deliberate and empowering choice, a way to honor your energy, protect your heart, and step fully into your own power. By embracing silence, you are not withdrawing from life. You are stepping deeper into your own strength, your own wisdom, and your own truth. In this quiet, you discover that the most powerful presence you can have in the world begins with the peace you cultivate within yourself. Healing is a quiet, gentle process that cannot be rushed or forced. It does not happen in chaos or through constant distraction. True healing happens in stillness when you allow yourself to pause, reflect, and turn inward. In 2026, this is your invitation to embrace the space within where your emotions, your body, and your mind can be heard and understood. Healing begins the moment you stop running from yourself and start listening to the whispers of your own soul. It is in this quiet awareness that transformation unfolds and your life begins to shift in ways you may have once thought impossible. When you focus on healing, you begin to recognize that your past experiences, your mistakes, and even your pain do not define you. They guide you. Every hurt, disappointment, and challenge contains a lesson designed to help you grow stronger, wiser, and more aligned with your true self. Often we try to ignore these experiences or push them aside, believing that healing is about forgetting or pretending everything is fine. But real healing comes from facing what is within, acknowledging it with love, and allowing it to move through you without resistance. The more you honor your emotions, the faster your inner wounds dissolve. Healing in stillness also allows you to separate yourself from external chaos. When you stop reacting to every situation, argument, or expectation, you create a safe inner space where your mind and body can reset. In this space, you can observe your thoughts, recognize old patterns, and choose new ways of being. You begin to understand that peace is not something that comes from the outside. It is cultivated inside through awareness, self-compassion, and the willingness to let go of what no longer serves you. By making this space sacred, you allow your natural state of balance and harmony to return. Another essential aspect of healing is the practice of self-compassion. Often we are our harshest critics, replaying our failures, judging our emotions, and doubting our worth. But healing asks you to speak kindly to yourself, to honor the courage it takes to face your inner world, and to embrace every part of your journey. Each time you offer yourself patience instead of criticism, love instead of blame, you create an environment where your body, mind, and spirit can truly recover. This gentle self-kindness is not indulgent. It is the foundation for lasting transformation. Healing also requires allowing feelings to move through you without clinging or resisting them. Emotions are like waves. They rise, peak, and eventually fall. When you resist them, they linger and create tension, fear, or pain. But when you observe them with awareness, allow yourself to feel fully and release without judgment, you free yourself from their grip. You discover that emotions are messengers, not enemies, and that every feeling carries information about what your soul needs in order to grow. By learning to ride these waves rather than fight them, you step into a deeper, more empowered relationship with yourself. As you continue to heal in stillness, you notice subtle shifts in your life. Your energy becomes lighter, your intuition grows sharper, your relationships begin to reflect your newfound clarity and inner strength. You no longer attract experiences that drain or diminish you because your alignment naturally draws in what supports your growth. Healing transforms not just your inner world, it radiates outward, reshaping your circumstances and the quality of your life. Every moment of stillness, every breath of awareness becomes a step toward wholeness. Finally, healing is not a destination. It is a continuous journey of self-discovery and self-mastery. Each day presents opportunities to listen more deeply, release more fully, and align more completely with your highest self. In 2026, choosing to heal through stillness is choosing to honor your own sacredness. It is choosing to embrace the quiet power within you, to trust the process of life, and to know that by nurturing yourself, you are creating a foundation for a life of true peace, joy, and abundance. Healing is your gift, your strength, and your most profound expression of self-love. Learning to stop reacting and start observing is one of the most powerful shifts you can make in your life. So often we respond to situations, people, or events based on old habits, fears, or past wounds. We react emotionally, sometimes impulsively, and in doing so, we give our power away. But in 2026, there's a quiet invitation to step back, to breathe, and to cultivate the ability to observe without judgment. Observation does not mean indifference. It means clarity. It means seeing life as it truly is, rather than through the lens of reaction, and choosing your response from a place of calm awareness. When you stop reacting, you create space for conscious choice. Instead of being carried away by anger, fear, or frustration, you pause and consider what aligns with your highest self. This pause is transformative. It allows you to respond with wisdom instead of emotion, to speak with intention instead of reflex, and to act in ways that support your growth rather than compromise it. Over time, this practice rewires your mind and your nervous system, teaching you that peace is stronger than impulse and that clarity is more powerful than chaos. Observation also helps you understand the deeper patterns at work in your life. When you step back and watch without reacting, you begin to notice recurring themes, emotional triggers, and habitual responses. You start to see how certain situations or people affect you and why you respond the way you do. This awareness is essential because it allows you to address the root causes of your reactions rather than just the symptoms. You learn that true power lies in understanding yourself, your boundaries, and your energy, rather than trying to control or change others. When you practice observing rather than reacting, you also discover a profound sense of inner peace. You no longer carry the burden of unnecessary conflict or emotional turbulence. You realize that not every situation requires your energy or your input. By choosing carefully what you engage with and what you release, you protect your well-being and create an environment where your mind can function clearly, your emotions can stabilize, and your intuition can guide you. Peace becomes your default state rather than something you hope for when life is calm. Observation strengthens your relationships as well. When you stop reacting impulsively, you respond to others from a place of love and understanding. You listen more deeply. You communicate more effectively. You no longer escalate conflict or allow miscommunications to dictate your mood. People around you sense your calm, and your presence becomes a stabilizing influence rather than a reactive one. In this way, learning to observe benefits not just your inner world, but the dynamics of your relationships and interactions with the world at large. Choosing observation over reaction is also a key to personal empowerment. Each time you resist the urge to react, you reinforce your control over your own energy and your own life. You recognize that no one else has the power to dictate your emotional state unless you allow it. This realization is liberating because it places responsibility for your well-being squarely in your own hands. You stop giving others the power to disrupt your peace, and you begin to anchor yourself in the quiet strength of self-mastery. Finally, learning to observe rather than react is a practice that deepens over time. It requires patience, mindfulness, and a willingness to let go of old habits. But as you continue, you find that life becomes more harmonious, your decisions become clearer, and your energy becomes stronger. You respond instead of react, you act instead of overthinking, and you create a life guided by wisdom rather than impulse. In 2026, this ability to observe is not just a skill, it is a lifestyle, a path to emotional freedom, and a key to living a life aligned with your highest potential. By choosing observation over reaction, you reclaim your power, protect your peace, and step fully into the quiet strength that has always been within you. Alignment is one of the most profound forces in life, yet it is often misunderstood. Many people believe that achieving what they desire requires constant effort, struggle, or trying to control outcomes. But the truth is that when you are aligned, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually, you naturally attract what is meant for you. Alignment is not about forcing circumstances or convincing the world to meet your expectations. It is about tuning yourself to the frequency of your highest self and allowing life to respond in kind. In 2026, focusing on alignment becomes a pathway to effortless flow, deeper satisfaction, and authentic abundance. When you align with yourself, you begin by becoming aware of your inner world. You notice your thoughts, beliefs, and emotions, and you gently assess whether they are supporting or hindering you. Misalignment occurs when your inner dialogue contradicts your desires, when fear, doubt, or insecurity cloud your vision. By consciously choosing thoughts and feelings that resonate with the life you want to create, you begin to shift your energy. Your mind, heart, and actions start to move in harmony, and this coherence becomes a magnetic force that draws experiences and people into your life with grace and ease. Alignment also requires letting go of the need to control outcomes. Many of us have been conditioned to believe that we must work tirelessly, manipulate situations, or convince others in order to achieve what we want. Yet when you are truly aligned, you understand that control is an illusion. Life responds not to struggle, but to clarity. By focusing on becoming the person who embodies your desired reality, rather than obsessing over the mechanics of getting there, you invite opportunities, synchronicities, and connections to flow naturally. Alignment is the quiet power that removes the friction from your journey and allows your desires to manifest without force. Another essential aspect of alignment is congruence between your actions and your intentions. It is not enough to simply wish for something or think positively about it. Every choice, habit, and behavior must reflect your highest vision. This includes the way you speak to yourself, the way you care for your body, the people you spend time with, and the energy you bring into every interaction. When your actions mirror your intentions, you create a consistent vibration that life responds to. The universe recognizes the coherence in your energy and delivers experiences that are aligned with your highest good. Alignment also deepens your trust in life. When you cultivate internal harmony, you become less reactive to external chaos and more confident in the natural unfolding of events. Why? Oh, understand that what is meant for you cannot miss you, and that the universe has a way of guiding the right people, opportunities, and circumstances into your path at precisely the right moment. This trust replaces anxiety, impatience, and frustration with a sense of calm certainty. You no longer chase, you attract. You no longer force, you allow. And in this space, miracles often appear quietly but powerfully. As you practice alignment, you begin to notice subtle shifts in your environment. Situations that once caused stress or confusion now flow with ease. Relationships that were once challenging either transform or naturally move away, making space for connections that support your growth. Opportunities that align with your purpose appear effortlessly, as if life itself is responding to your inner coherence. This is the beauty of alignment. It does not require struggle, it does not demand sacrifice, and it does not rely on proving yourself to anyone. It simply works when your energy is harmonious and your focus is clear. Finally, alignment is a daily practice. It is cultivated through mindfulness, self-reflection, and intentional living. Each day provides the chance to check in with yourself, to release what no longer serves you, and to recalibrate your energy toward your highest vision. In 2026, embracing alignment allows you to live from a place of empowerment rather than striving, of trust rather than anxiety, and of flow rather than force. By focusing on alignment, you step fully into your power, attract what is genuinely meant for you, and create a life that reflects the truest version of yourself. Alignment is not just a concept. It is a way of being, a way of living, and the secret to effortless manifestation and lasting fulfillment. In 2026, one of the most profound truths you can embrace is that your growth, your healing, and your transformation do not need an audience. Your life itself can speak louder than words ever could. When you let your growth speak for you, you step into a place of quiet power that commands respect and attracts abundance naturally. You no longer feel the need to explain, justify, or announce your journey to anyone. Instead, your actions, your presence, and the energy you radiate become a living testament to your commitment to yourself. This is the ultimate form of self-confidence, trusting that what you cultivate within will be recognized without effort or explanation. Allowing your growth to speak begins with self-awareness. You notice the ways in which you have changed, the patterns you have released, and the habits you have adopted that honor your highest self. Each small choice, each deliberate action becomes part of a larger story that the world witnesses through your results. You realize that transformation does not need commentary. It is most powerful when it is embodied fully, without distraction or performance. The quiet presence of someone who is healed, grown, and aligned with themselves is often more inspiring than any words or social proof. When your growth speaks for you, you also learn the value of patience. Transformation is rarely immediate, and the deepest changes often happen beneath the surface, unnoticed by the outside world. You begin to trust the timing of your own life and recognize that rushing, forcing, or seeking validation interrupts the natural flow of your evolution. Instead, you focus on consistent action, intentional habits, and daily practices that support your highest self. You trust that the life you are creating, even if unseen by others, is laying the foundation for long-term fulfillment and success. Your silence becomes a canvas upon which the results of your growth are painted for the world to witness in their perfect time. Another essential aspect of letting your growth speak is learning to observe without comparing. Often we measure our progress against others, which can create doubt, impatience, or discouragement. But when your growth becomes your focus, you stop looking outward for approval or recognition. You recognize that every person's journey is unique and that your path is unfolding exactly as it should. By honoring your own pace and your own process, you cultivate inner strength, resilience, and self-trust. Your growth becomes authentic because it is guided by your inner wisdom, not by the expectations or judgments of others. Letting your growth speak also means embodying integrity in every action. When your choices are aligned with your values, your vision, and your self-respect, you radiate a sense of purpose and authenticity that is impossible to ignore. People naturally sense when someone is living in alignment with themselves. Your presence alone communicates confidence, stability, and clarity. You no longer need to convince, explain, or persuade. Your life becomes evidence of the power of self-love, discipline, and intentional living. Others are drawn to your energy because it is genuine, consistent, and inspiring. Furthermore, when your growth speaks for you, you create a life of influence without effort. Words can be fleeting, but the results of consistent, focused, and mindful action are enduring. Your achievements, your character, and the peace you cultivate naturally leave a lasting impression. The more you embody your true self, the less you need to prove anything to anyone. The right people, opportunities, and experiences will recognize your value and align with your energy because it is authentic and unwavering. You become magnetic without force, influential without speaking, and powerful without display. Finally, allowing your growth to speak is a lifelong practice of self-trust and patience. It is about cultivating quiet confidence, honoring your journey, and understanding that the most profound transformations happen silently, in alignment, and with integrity. In 2026, when you focus on yourself and allow your growth to speak, you step fully into your power. You create a life that reflects your highest potential, draws in what is truly meant for you, and demonstrates that true strength is not loud. It is steady, aligned, and undeniable. Your growth, when embodied, becomes your most powerful voice, and the world cannot help but notice.